President Rodrigo Duterte has
Vice President Leni Robredo said that
presidential fourth runner and former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
the Commission on Elections or COMELEC
Employment in the Philippines declined by 6.4%.
Early registration for academic year 2022-2023.
Two suspects identified as members of the Basag Salamintan group were arrested.
The Commission on Elections, COMELEC, is set to send vote counting machines.
Singer actor Ronnie Liang has achieved another milestone in his life.
Bringing you the top stories for tonight, I am Alvin Carabello.
and I'm Trisha Gatitos. Welcome to Eurotv News Tonight. Your news, our business.
President Rodrigo Duterte has
Our top stories for tonight.
New COVID-19 cases up by 44% according to Department of Health. DA and JICA to join forces for 5-year improved vegetable value chain project. 44% of Filipinos are not satisfied with K-12 program in the country, according to survey. Another fuel price rollback to take effect Tuesday. Parkland, Florida school shooter faces death penalty at sentencing trial. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are married.
President Rodrigo Duterte has
Vice President Leni Robredo said that
presidential fourth runner and former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
the Commission on Elections or COMELEC
Employment in the Philippines declined by 6.4%.
Early registration for academic year 2022-2023.
Two suspects identified as members of the Basag Salamintan group were arrested.
The Commission on Elections, COMELEC, is set to send vote counting machines.
Singer actor Ronnie Liang has achieved another milestone in his life.
Good evening, everyone. The Philippines logged a total of 14,640 new COVID-19 infections from July 11 to July 17, 2022, around 44% higher than the cases reported the previous week, the Department of Health said. Based on the department's weekly case bulletin, the daily case average for the week jumped to 2,091 from the 1,467 recorded from July 4 to July 10. The COVID-19 cases during that period was 10,271. One more verified COVID-19 related death that occurred in October 2021 was recorded by DOH. Data also showed that 589 severe and critical cases are currently admitted in hospitals due to the viral disease as of July 17. Of the 2,630 intensive care unit beds, 481 or 18.3% were occupied. Meanwhile, 5,189 or 23.8% of the 21,809 non-ICU beds or ICU COVID-19 beds were in use. The Department of Agriculture and the Japan International Cooperation Agency or JICA will join forces for the implementation of an improved vegetable value chain project. This is in obedience to the order of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., who also serves as Secretary of the Department to achieve food security. According to the DA, the goal of the market-driven enhancement of vegetable value chain or MV2C in collaboration with JICA is to promote higher yield and income for farmers and achieve food security, availability, accessibility, and affordability for every Filipino. Over 5 years, a vegetable value chain roadmap will be developed, which will identify challenges and solutions in the value chain. The project was launched in conjunction with a value chain survey in several vegetable-producing provinces, such as Benguet and Quezon, where MV2C pilot programs are expected to be implemented. In other news, more than 40% of Filipinos are dissatisfied with the K-12 education system in the country. According to the Pulse Asia survey conducted on June 24 to 27, 25% of the 1,200 respondents said they were not very satisfied with the current education system, while 19% were dissatisfied. The said number is 16% higher as compared to the survey result in September 2019, in which 28% of the respondents were dissatisfied. As a result, the satisfaction rate dropped to 39% last month from 80% in September 2019. Meanwhile, Senator Windsor Chilian was set to chair the Senate Committee on Basic Education, Arts and Culture in the 19th Congress, said the K-12 program should be reviewed. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa said he was filed bills to revive the death penalty and mandatory ROTC, or Reserve Officer Training Corps. The former Philippine National Police Chief said the death penalty would be only for large-scale, high-level drug traffickers. This would be defined as those who will be caught with 1 kilo of drugs, De La Rosa said, adding that the figure will still be discussed at the committee and plenary level. The death penalty was abolished in the Philippines in 2006 under the presidency of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The senator also said he has filed a bill seeking to establish mandatory ROTC for grades 11 to 12. The training would develop patriotism, discipline, and leadership in the youth. It would also train a reserve army for the Philippines. In the wake of price adjustments due to COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no required uniforms for the students. This was said by Vice President Sara Duterte, who is also the Department of Education Secretary. Zay Sogliano for the details.
Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte had declared to the public that students in public schools will not be required to wear uniforms. The Education Secretary said that her move was meant to ease the burden of students and families in the wake of rising prices and lost livelihood due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As VP Duterte said, even before the pandemic, it is not a strict requirement for public schools to wear uniforms according to the DepEd Order No. 65 to avoid incurring additional costs to the family of the country's learners. The start of school year 2022-2023 will be on August 22, 2022. Duterte has said that the combined in-person classes and distance learning will be implemented from August to October, while the 5-day face-to-face classes will start in November. This has been Zay Soriano for Eurotv News.
The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, said that 5 more foreign languages courses would be available for Filipino workers by September. According to TESDA Deputy Director General for Operations, John Bertiz, by September, the additional language courses would be fully operational. The agency will start offering Italian, French, Mandarin, Arabic, and Korean. TESDA has already produced around 14,000 graduates under NLSC since 2007. More stories up next as Eurotv News Tonight returns.
Magsama-sama, magpapakuna, magsayawan, pag-fully vax na. Tayo'y magpapakuna. Let's spread the good vibes sa bayan. Tayo'y magsama-sama. Let's get back for good vibes, kababayan.
Let's bakuna na para sa pamilya at komunidad. Magpa-booster para sa todong proteksyon.
Magsama-sama, magpapakuna, magsayawan, pag-fully vax na. Tayo'y magpapakuna. Let's spread the good vibes sa bayan. Tayo'y magsama-sama. Let's get back for good vibes, kababayan.
Let's bakuna na para sa pamilya at komunidad. Magpa-booster para sa todong proteksyon.
Back to the news, there are more or less 100,000 plus vacant or unfilled positions in the government bureaucracy, Amid talks on right-sizing the bureaucracy, Civil Service Commissioner Eileen Lazada suggested looking into more than 100,000 vacant job positions in the government. Lazada further pointed out that there is a possibility some of these vacant government posts could be abolished instead of hiring contract of service and job order personnel to fill them. Lazada made the suggestion after she was asked if COS and job workers will be affected by the government right-sizing plan, clarifying that they are not considered government workers as they are under the supervision of the Department of Budget and Management and Commission and Audit. The DBM, which recently proposed the plan, has yet to determine how much the government will save as a result of the right-sizing. Pump prices of petroleum products will be rolled back tomorrow, Tuesday, July 19, marking the third straight week of price cuts. In an advisory, CL Philippines Incorporated said it will cut prices per liter of gasoline by 5 pesos, diesel by 2 pesos, and kerosene by 0.70 pesos. Clean Fuel and Petrogas will implement the same changes, including kerosene, which they do not carry. The changes will take effect at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, July 19. Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad said last week that this week's rollback in pump prices is possible due to the following factors: intermittent lockdowns in China, interest rate hikes in the U.S. and other countries. Abad said the factors could result in tempered economic activity, which could eventually lower demand and prices. The Duterte administration has contributed a lot to tourism in Boracay, where the tourist spot is included in the 50 world's greatest places of 2022. According to Clan Mayor Floribar Bautista, that this includes the repair of roads and drainage systems, which help to maintain tourism on the said island. In this relationship, he said that the operations of the establishments are growing back and the number of tourist arrivals is also increasing. Bautista praised the Philippine National Police for maintaining peace and order in Boracay. The habagat or southwest monsoon will continue to affect parts of the Philippines on Monday, State Weather Bureau Pag-asa said. In its 24-hour public weather forecast, the agency said the monsoon may bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms to the Bicol region, Mimaropa, Visayas, Caraga, Northern Mindanao, Zamboanga Peninsula, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. This may cause flash floods or landslides due to moderate to, at times, heavy rains, according to Pag-asa. Metro Manila and the rest of the country, meanwhile, may have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to habagat and localized thunderstorms. Flash floods or landslides are also possible during severe thunderstorms, according to the State Weather Bureau. Heavy rain leaves garbage and mud in some areas in Quezon City. Vanessa Cleofas has the details.
Severe rainfall during the weekend in Barangay Moran, Santa Cruz, Quezon City. But walls have fell on the ground and overflowing creek are also affected by the heavy rain. This caused the residents of Santa Cruz, Quezon City to draw some vehicles to a higher area as floods enters their houses. The said heavy rain started at 3 p.m. and stopped at 9 in the evening. According to the residents we interviewed, it really seems that their area is prone to floods whenever the rain is heavy.
Biglang kumon, nagiba yung bakon na dahil yung volume ng tubig dyan ka lahat umagos. Tapos wala pa dito. Hanggang sa tumaas ng tumaas. Hanggang yung mga sasakyan na, binabatak na doon pataas. Lahat ng sasakyan dahil na-out na yan, hindi na yan ako kuha na yan ng tubig. Dito, sabi ko, bumababa na, talagang kuha na kami dyan eh. Nakuha ng lahat yung gadamit namin. Hindi namin akalain na tataas pa pala yun ng tataas. Eh, yung basta ito, hanggang dyan yung tubig eh. taas. Yun, naglilinis kami habang kumukuha yung tubig, naglilinis kami sa loob ng bahay. Dahil yung putik, sobrang putik.
However, some officers said to have visited them to inspect their condition and immediately sent some help. On the other hand, according to Pag-asa, the heavy rain experienced in some areas in Metro Manila was caused by a localized thunderstorm. Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Over 8,000 flag-waving fans bore witness to history at the Rizal Memorial Stadium when the Philippine women's national football team cemented their status as the best in the region. The Filipinas steamrolled Thailand 3-0 in the final of the 2022 AFF Women's Championship to win their first ever major trophy, the latest achievement in a year that has been filled with them. For the members of the team, this latest feat was all the more special because it took place on home soil in front of a packed crowd that cheered their every move and sang for them in frenzied moments of the match. The Filipinas had clinched a World Cup berth in February in the AFC Women's Asian Cup in India, then won a bronze medal in the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Hanoi, Vietnam, to lift a trophy, their first ever in front of over 8,000 fans, was a feeling they won't soon forget. Sri Lanka's acting president renewed the country's state of emergency ahead of a parliamentary vote to pick a new head of state, a poll in which he is a leading candidate. Ranil Wickremesinghe automatically became acting president when Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigned last week after fleeing to Singapore. A state of emergency allows troops to arrest and detain suspects and the president to make regulations overriding existing laws to deal with any unrest. One was already in place, but Parliament had not met to ratify the declaration as required, and Wickremesinghe extended it from Monday in the interests of public security. Police and the military have already stepped up security ahead of Wednesday's vote to elect a president for the remainder of Rajapaksa's term, which ends in November 2024. Wickremesinghe, a six-time former prime minister, is being backed for the position by Rajapaksa's party, which remains the largest in the legislature. A young man who gunned down 17 people at his former high school in Parkland, Florida, goes on trial, with jurors set to hand down either the death penalty or a life sentence. Nicholas Cruz took an AR-15 assault rifle into Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day in 2018 and killed 17 students and staff members. Cruz was 19 at the time, has already pleaded guilty to 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder for those wounded during the massacre. The trial is being held to determine his sentence. The death penalty requires a unanimous decision by the jury. Cruz will otherwise be handed life without parole. The Florida shooting stunned a country accustomed to gun violence and sparked new efforts led by students from the school itself to get lawmakers to pass tougher gun control laws. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have tied the knot over the weekend after obtaining a marriage license in Clark County, Nevada. According to People Report, the power duo was married in a small ceremony. According to J-Lo, she has a really exciting and special story to share, but only her subscribers on the Inner Circle newsletter would get to read it. Jennifer and Ben first dated in 2002, then called off their engagement in 2004. In 2021, they reunited. And those were the top stories for tonight. You can visit our social media account at Eurotv News for the latest and hottest updates. I'm Onin Miranda. Thank you for watching Eurotv News tonight. Your news, our business.